Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayana Namaskrityam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Param Chaiva Narottam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jaya Mudiraye
To Jaya Mudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Ashtapraya Subhadresu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttama Sloke
Bhagavate Uttama Sloke
Bhaktin Bhavatir Naistiti
Bhaktir Bhavati Nastike
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devagi Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, text number 44. 1:18:44. This is the continuation of the previous discussion. Maharaja Parishit cursed by the Brahmana boy. The chapter name is Maharaja Parishit cursed by the Brahmana boy. Okay. So let us start the slogan. Please repeat behind me. Adya pāpam upaity ananvayaṁ.
adya pāpam upaity ananvayaṁ.
naṣṭa-nāthasya vasor vilumpakāt.
naṣṭa-nāthasya vasor vilumpakāt.
parasparaṁ ghnanti śapanti vṛñjate.
parasparaṁ ghnanti śapanti vṛñjate.
paśūn striyo rthān puru-dasyavo janāḥ.
paśūn striyo puru-dasyavo.
Word by word meaning. Tat, for this reason.
For this reason.
Adya, for this day. From this day.
From this day.
Naha, upon us. Pāpam, reaction of sin. Upaity, will overtake. Ananvayaṁ, disruption. Yat, because. naṣṭa, abolished. Nathasya, of the monarch. Vasuha, of wealth. Vilumpakāt, being plundered. Parasparaṁ, between one another. Ghnanti, will kill. śapanti, will do harm. vṛñjate, will steal. paśūn, animals. striyo, woman. rthān, riches. puru, greatly. dasyavo, thieves. janāḥ, the mass of people. Translation Purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanavadi Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation, please repeat behind me. Due to the termination of the monarchical regime and the plundering of the people's wealth by rogues and thieves, there will be great social disruption. People will be killed and injured
and injured,
and animals
and animals
and women
and women
will be stolen.
will be stolen.
And for all
And for all
these sins,
these sins,
we shall be responsible.
we shall be responsible.
Purport. The word naha, we, is very significant in this verse. The sage rightly takes the responsibility of the brāhmaṇas as a community for killing monarchical government and thus giving an opportunity to the so-called democrats, who are generally plunderers of the wealth of the state subjects. The so-called democrats capture the administrative machine without assuming responsibility for the prosperous condition of the citizens. Everyone captures the post for personal gratification. And thus, instead of one king, a number of irresponsible kings grow up to tax the citizens. It is foretold herein that in the absence of good monarchical government, everyone will be the cause of disturbance for others by plundering riches, animals, women, etc. Hare Krishna. So, in this is the continuation of the previous discussion that the Shringi, the boy who cursed the Maharaja Parikshit and his father Shamika Rishi, both are discussing. That time, the son Shringi was explaining that he cursed the king. Then after hearing that, the Shamika Rishi was speaking all those things. So now what he is saying that we are the responsibility of the Brahmana community. We means he is talking about the Brahmana community is responsible for the killing the monarchical government, because this boy cursed this Maharaja Parikshit. Because of that, the monarchical government will go off collapse from now onwards, and the so-called democrats, we are giving the opportunity to give the. Yes, after that, who are all, yes, Maharaja Parikshit, he was the great king, and his descendant supposed to be he need to teach the descendant, and he will give the properly, he will hand over the his whatever the ruling power, his properly we hand over it, then it will be the next generation will be properly, it will go. But it is unintentionally, means immaturely, before that itself he got the curse, he is going to die now. So because of that, the monarchical government will be destroyed from now onwards. That's what he is saying. The Brahmana community will be the responsible for that. That's what the sage was saying to his son. And it will give the opportunity to the so-called democrats, democratic activities. It will give the opportunity to them. So currently we are in the democratic country. So we are ruling by the democrats. So what is maybe democrat? It is people rule for people. That is the people for people. That is the democrats. But originally, is it the people for people? Is it happening properly? The whatever the government is preparing some welfare activities for the citizens, and all the citizens are getting the whatever the welfare activities are prepared by the government, and they are getting all the benefits, and all the people, citizens are happy in this material. But it is not happening now. Why? Because that time itself, it is. See, the Bhagavatam itself, it is said that when the monarchical regime is plundered, the people's wealth, what will happen? When the monarchical regime got terminated, what will happen? The plundering of the people's wealth by rogues and thieves. So that is what happening currently. In the name of government officials and the politicians and the ruling party, there are plundering of people's wealth is happening currently. So they are in the name of ministers, MLAs, this and that, and the so-called the government servants. So they are all what they are doing. They are all doing the plundering of the people's wealth. So this is the effect of termination of the monarchical regime. So the current society, we are also experiencing directly. We are experiencing the same thing. Our people's wealth are getting plundered by the rogues and thieves. We are hearing from so many scams. This from the government, who are all the ministers. They did this scam, that scam. It means even till now also, till today also, this is happening. Somebody getting arrested and they are behind the scam, and even the government officials, they also getting the bribe and giving the opportunities. The other person who is the criminal, they need to be escaped from the punishment. So they are also getting the government officials also getting the bribe from them. So all these people are called as rogues and thieves. Though that time itself means 5,000 years back itself, the foretold by the brāhmana, Sabikrishi, he told that if you remove this monarchical regime, these people will be go through this kind of issues. So this is a great social disruption. So it is happening currently. We are experiencing that. So also he is saying that people will be killed and injured. There are so many things are happening. People will be killed and injured without any proper reason. And how the people will be killed? See, there are so many. They are preparing. So there are sometimes they built a bridge and it got broken, and they're not taken the proper action, preventive actions to when there is a natural calamities, they should supposed to take the preventive actions. They need to safeguard the people. So if you see there is a cyclone and a heavy rain, if it is happening, and the politicians, they are all the secure place, but the lower poor people, they are getting affected because of that cyclone and heavy rains, and they are getting killed. And there are many accidents happening, and many people are getting killed because of that. The people, because the politicians, they are all in their sense gratification. They are always thinking about their own pleasure and what I am going to get from that. So even though we are paying the tax, and the tax is supposed to be used for the people welfare, but what is happening? Even though we are getting we are paying the tax, so much of taxes they are collecting. All the taxes the government is bring the order to utilize for the citizen purpose. But even the low level, from the government to the low level people, when it is the benefit is supposed to come, that till that time there are multiple people, they are plundering the wealth. Whatever the tax amount we are paying, that is coming back to us as a benefit, but that benefit is all plundered by these thieves and rogues who are so-called government employees, ministers. They are all plundering the wealth of the country and the citizens. So these are already, it is foretold, and also it will disturb not only plundering the riches, it is disturbing the animals and humans also. See how it is animals and humans in the current, because if you see this, the previous verses we discussed that even the cow and bull, they were crying, and even immediately Parikshit came there, and he's trying to kill the person who is harming the cow and the bull. Because Praja, the citizen, means it is not only human being. All the animals, all the whatever living entities are there, all are Praja there. But in the current society, what we are thinking that Praja means only the human beings. All the other animals are birds and other living entities like tree, plants, everything is, we are not considering them as a living entity at all. So that is the reason we are also getting the reaction for that. But we are also in the part of responsible for that. We also need to take the punishment because of that. See, in the name of development, there are so many, we are cutting so many trees. So now there is a metro work is going on. So wherever the metro work is happening, so they want to widen the road, they want to cut the trees who are there hundreds of years, the trees were there, that those trees are not getting cutted by the people. Without, yes, we are thinking that, okay, we are doing the benefit to the human society. But instead of giving the, means in order to give the one person to be comfortable to the one person, human society, they are killing the animals, and there are so many birds who are living in that tree. So they are killing the animals as well as the plants, the trees. They're cutting down without any hesitation. They're immediately there. Now we have the earlier, if you want to cut a tree, it will take days together. Some 2 days, 3 days it will take. But first they will cut the small branches, then big branches, then they will cut down the entire tree, and then they will remove the root and all. So it will take weeks together to cut a big tree. But in the current day, what is happening? Within couple of hours, the entire tree will be cut down with the modern equipments. So we are developed. Our development, our modernization, it is not taking us to the right direction. What we are doing, we are trying to kill. We are trying to utilize we are trying to kill the animals. We are killing the animals, and we are harming the plants and trees. And we are seeing that we are trying to be in a comfortable position. So the government also thinking that we are giving the comfortable to the citizens of the country. So the citizens, not only the humans, the animals are those citizens, and the plants and trees are those citizens, whatever they're in the country. But the current government, the democratic government, the current world, it is not at all thinking about the animals and the plants and trees. And what to talk about women? So in India, it is okay compared to other men, but still the women are getting exploited in women also. But in other countries, if you see, the women are getting exploited like anything. When there is a disturbance happening when there is a war, the first person is affected is a woman and children. So in Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna told, when initially he was asked, we were discussing, initial discussion when the Bhagavad Gita is starting, Arjuna told, if the war happen, so all the men will be killed, the women will be widowed. So the women will be widowed, but nobody has to take care of them, and there is a chances they will be exploited, and because of that, there are unwanted children will be born. So all those things is already Arjuna also discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna also discussed that. That means, so if there is some disturbance, some war, the first thing is getting affected by this. First one is women and the children. So that will also happen. So this is the foretold by the Shamiki Rishi. And why it is happening? Why it is the basic thing for this is for this situation is, what is the situation is happening because of the reason behind this. First is anger. Anger is the reason for, first is the lust, and second one is the anger. So lust means, what is going to be lust? So for which with the things, the material things on which we are trying to get, if we are not getting, then what will happen? The anger arises. So when the anger arises, it will take it into the distraction mode. So when you change that lust into a love towards the Lord, then the anger won't arise, then it will take you to the right path. So there are multiple responses we could have given. So there are 3 kinds of responses. So one is the material response. Second one is, we can say, the political response. And third one is the devotional response. There are 3 kinds of responses when there is a situation arises. So in this situation, this Brahmana boy, Shringi, first response, he immediately got anger, and he responded immediately that whoever put the death snake on my father's neck, that person will die within 7 days, after 7 days, by a snake bite. This is the material response. The material response means without thinking the result of that and whether it is affecting a person or not, immediately we will respond. That is material response. So the material response, it will lead to a distraction, because this kind of in the current situation, whatever we were discussing here, the material response, whatever the Shringi he told, it affected the king. The king affected, then the next thing is it affected. When the king got the topmost person is getting affected, then the entire society need to get the result of that, result out of it. Whatever the result we are getting, then entire society need to bear that. So this is the material response. So the material response is not at all good. And the next thing is, if you see political response. See, the first thing is material response. That is only, it is son and father relationship. So because of that attachment, he took the decision. He cursed the king. And the next thing, political response. So the political response, in the sense, in the next level. First one is the attachment with the father and son level. The next level is community level. So community level means this boy, he was saying that now Krishna is not there in this material world. We saw in the previous verses, the Krishna is not there in this material world. Then we are means this Brahmana community. We are saying that we are the educated person. So we are the position need to give the punishment to this kind of activities. So I punished this person. That's what this boy was told. So this is the political response. So political response means it is thinking that the community, whatever belongs to, that is the higher community. Whatever the lower born person, the king is the lower born person, he is from the Kshatriya community. So I have the right to punish that person. So this is the way, this is the political way responded. So this is political response also, it will lead us to distraction. So the first is material response and political response. Both the responses, it will take us to the distraction only. And whatever the Parikshit Maharaj did after this, so we are coming into that way. So in that way, whatever the Parikshit Maharaj did, what is his response? See, he could have immediately counter-cursed because he has the power. He is Krishna's blessing is there. He is the great devotee of the Lord. He also has the powers. And he is the Raja Rishi. So he could have counter-cursed this boy. Or send some ministers to this boy's house and they could have asked the boy to reverse the curse. But he didn't do all those things. He accepted the things. Why he accepted? He is a Raja Rishi, he is a devotee of the Lord. He realized that whatever he did, it was wrong doing. And whatever is happening, it is the will of the Lord. So he don't want to interfere in that. So, and what he did, he immediately left all his kingdom and he went to the Yamuna's, the banks of Yamuna, and he sat for the spiritual realization. Then he got the Srimad Bhagavatam, the knowledge from the Sukadeva Goswami. So that is the devotional response. So the response, he could have immediately reacted for this, but instead of that, devotionally he responded. He looked for the devotional service. He looks for the connection with the Lord. Then it turned into a different direction. The entire world got benefited through this Bhagavatam. So that is the difference between the responses. So the response, whatever the material response or the political response, it will take you the distraction only. But the response by the devotional activities, devotional service, it will take us to the benefit to the society and benefit to the person who is taking the decision also. So the whatever in Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka. In Bhagavad Gita 3.36, Arjuna is asking Krishna, Atakena prayattoyam pāpam chareti purushaha aniccan abhivarshneya bhalateva niyojitaha. What is saying? O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? So what is taking us to the sinful acts? So by forcefully, how we are getting into the sinful acts? So it is a question from Arjuna. So for that, the next verse, Lord is giving the answer. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamayesha Krodayesha Rajoguna Samadbhavaha Magasano Mahapapma Vidhiyenam Ihi Virinam. What is the answer or translation for this? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. So, what is saying? Lust only, because of the lust. What is the question of Arjuna? What things it is taking into the sinful activity? So, first thing is, because of the lust, it is taking into the sinful activity. So, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion. Because of the passion mode, we are increasing the lusty towards those things. Lusty means we are this. We wanted to increase our wealth. So whatever increase the wealth, we are trying to. Current politicians, they want to increase their wealth. Then what they are doing? They are plundering. They are stealing the whatever the allocated the people supposed to get the benefit, but they are stealing from that. So why it is happening? Because of their mode of passion, material mode of passion. They want to increase their lust towards that. Because they increase the lust, because of that, they are getting affected. They are trying to steal the people's money. Later, it is transformed into wrath. So wrath means it is a anger. So first is lust, it taking us to the wrath, taking us to the anger. Then what is happening? Then if once the anger arises, it will take us to the sinful enemy to this world. See, that is, it will take us to the sinful activity. So the lust, because of the lust means it a material attachment. When the material attachment happening, that time, if it is not happening or on time, we are getting delayed and we are more overpowered on the attachment, then we are anger on that. The anger arises from us. So the lust and anger and greed. So lust, anger, and greed. These are the three. This is the gateway of the hell. So that's what it is. There is a proverb also. What is the gateway of the hell? Is lust, anger, and greed. These are the gateways of the hell. So the lust need to be transformed to love towards the Lord. Then the anger, it will be transformed to service to the Lord. Then the reaction, what will happen? It will benefit to the person who is doing, and it will also benefit to the society as well. So that's what today's sloka is the person discussed, the Shringi and his father, Samika Rishi, they were discussing. The Samika Rishi, he was telling that because of the monarchical termination, the people will be plundered by rogues and thieves, and the there's a great disruption in the social activities, and the animals and women will be affected. And these are all the reactions of that. So why it is happening? Because when the monarchical regime taken away, then the democratic people will come. So democratic means then they will be the people who are ruling us, they will become lusty towards the material attachment. They will become material attachment. They want to they want to increase their wealth. So because of that, they won't take care of the people properly. They will stole the whatever we are allocating. The government is allocating the amount of benefits. They will stole from that and they will kill the people. They will be injured. This is all the reaction from that. So this is already foretold. Currently, we are experiencing that. So lust and anger and greed, these are the gateways of the hell. So today's lesson we learned is we should not get into this material attachment. That is like that will create a lust. So we have to be lust need to be transformed into love, and wrath need to be transformed to be love. Then if you transform the lust into love, then towards the Lord, love towards the Lord, then through the to the devotional service, that then we can convert that wrath into love. Wrath means anger into love. So lust, anger, and greed. We need to employ for these things. We need to employ for devotional service. Not if you are employed for material things, it will take us to the hell. And if you employ this in the spiritual activity, it will take us to the destination. Is a great destination. So we will get the love of God. So for example, there are two examples we can give and we can close this class. The one example is when Hanuman, when he was in the Lanka, when the people, the Lanka people, what they did to the king and other ministers, they kept a fire on his tail. And what is it? He wanted to use that also as a service to the Lord. Then he fired the entire Lanka with that. So that is the service to the Lord. So that is service. That is a devotional activity. So that is because he is supposed to not to do that. But the thing is, these people, the demons, what they did, they applied the fire in that. So they have to get the result for that. So they got the entire Lanka got burned by the Hanuman. Then he is a great devotee of the Lord. He became the great devotee of the Lord. And the similar way, when Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna discussed with Arjuna, Krishna asked Arjuna to kill the enemies, the Kauravas. That is, even if you, from the material point of view, if you see there is a killing of others, but by the will of the Lord, if we do this, then at the end, what happened? The Dharma became re-established. So, if you consider that by the will of the Lord, if you do something, then it will take us towards the devotional, take us toward one step towards bhakti, and as well as it will be the will of the Lord. And we will get the benefit of the devotional benefits. And if you go with the material benefits, material attachment, then it will take us to the hell. So that is what we saw in the Ravana's point of view, and in the Kaurava's point of view, Duryodhana's point of view. They got the punishment because of that, because they are automatically so much engrossed in the material attachment, because of they got the hell. And the other persons, opposite parties, like Hanuman and parties, Rama and parties, and as well as in the case of Pandavas, they got their kingdom back. They got saved. Why? Because they followed the path of devotional activities. Hare Krishna. Vṛñjate Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.